Hello, everyone. This is Rosanna, Bright and Dusty on YouTube and Instagram. Welcome back to my channel all about cross stitch. This is going to be a flip through video of vintage patterns with the camera oriented like this. And I know I said I was going to do this a couple weeks ago, and then I got sick and I had a really terrible cold. So I'm finally feeling back to normal. So I thought I'd hop on and do this. Um, I had mentioned in my last floss tube that at Goodwill a couple months ago, I found a plastic bin that was somebody's cross stitch collection. It was half full of cross stitch patterns and half full of like crochet and knitting. But it was a lot of cross stitch, and in particular, there was a rather large stack of vintage sampler patterns. I'm going to start with those. Then I'll go through what was in the rest of that collection. And at the end, if there's time, I might just show some other kits I've found lately. So anyway, yeah. If I have a picture of what this collection looked like when I found it, I'll throw it in. I think I have a picture. Basically, it was divided up into file folders labeled with like various categories. And yeah, there were samplers. There was a lot of Cricut collection and Prairie Schooler as well. And then there was some Christmas things and some miscellaneous patterns. All of them appear to be from the 80s and 90s. I do think this was an older collection. So a lot of these are probably going to be out of print, but I don't know for sure. You could always look them up. But anyway, why don't I just get into it? So here's the first one, Reproduction Sampler number 3, Lucy Red Sampler. And this is a Homespun Elegance brand, which I guess they used to do sampler patterns. So this one's really detailed and quite large. Yeah, some of these are reproductions, some of them are modern or like, original designs. So this one is the Reproduction Sampler 4. So this is another Homespun Elegance. So from the same series. This one has nice colors. All those yellows and stuff. A lot of these patterns probably have hand-drawn symbols. Not all of them, but this one is a collection. Antique Museum Samplers. This is a booklet. So there's the one on the cover. And there's like an inspirational verse on there. Oh, yeah, this verse is kind of funny. Yeah, it's quite sexist. With cheerful mind we yield to men the higher honors of the pen. The needle's our great care. In this we chiefly wish to shine. How far the art's already mine. The sampler does declare. So she's like, we'll let the men do all the writing and we're gonna do all the stitching, I guess. So it's a little weird. The other ones, these are pictures of the original samplers. These are reproductions, but they do have like all of these charted inside the booklet. So these pictures are a little bit hard to see. Yeah, this one is on black. It's really, really pretty. I'll show you the inside of the book. Yeah, and it does give you like the information about the year the sampler was from and if they know who stitched it. So this is a cool book. Okay, so here's a bigger picture of that one on black, which I love this one. And then there's that one, a little more detail. That one has yeah, the Lord's Prayer on there. And I think that is all. So this is a neat book. This is Deborah Walker, and it says down here Chester County Collection. So that might be some kind of museum. I'm not sure. This is a really delicate one. And it does give some information back here. Yeah, it's a historical society, and they must have put out samplers back in the 80s. This is called the Marking Sampler. What company is this? Oh, this is just cross stitch. And yeah. Yeah. Okay, this is Donna Vermillion Jampa. You can see down here. I never know how to say her last name, but for Canterbury Designs. So this is a very dated title. I think the copyright on this was like, oh, it's 1987. So yeah, the Plantation Sampler. I mean, the title is pretty dated, but other than the title, I mean, this is just like a beautiful house with a bunch of really cute animals down there. So yeah, it's not really a reference to like the American South or um and that house is really cute. So this is not a reproduction. This is an original design by Donna Vermillion. And look, that border is really pretty with the pink flowers. And then I guess this would be a willow tree. It kind of looks like a palm tree. But yeah, my favorite. I love all these little animals. They're so cute. And then on the back is just another picture of it. This is the Amy Eliza Herbert sampler. This is a DAR museum down here, which I believe is Daughters of the American Revolution. So yeah, they must have put out some samplers in the 80s and 90s. I do really like this checkerboard house. This is another pretty large one. And just some instructions on the back. This looks like it's probably hand drawn. Yeah, I think so. Okay, Sheepish Designs, which These are original patterns. They're not reproductions. I don't think. Um, I think you can still get these. I don't think these are out of print. I could be wrong. So I really like that peacock down here. Yeah, if I stitch this, I think I would only do this part. This one's called the garden path. Here's another. Yeah, there was a few of these sheepish designs. Here's another one. This one is called My Name Complete. And this one appears to be mostly just an alphabet. A couple of alphabets. This one is called Posy from a Friend, also by Sheepish Designs. And yeah, more alphabets. That border is very pretty though. All those flowers. I think this might be the last Sheepish Designs. It's called High on a Hill. And I like the kind of elongated shape of this one, and then of course the peacock on the bottom is really cute. And this one's not very big. That wouldn't take too long. There's a couple from the Needle Love Company. This one's called the Green Willow Sampler. He is happiest who finds peace in his home. Oh, and look at all these little. I think those are sheep. That is cute. That border. I feel like they really dialed it in with that border. It's like it's just squiggly lines. I don't think I would do that border. All right, another one from Needle Love Company, Friendship Sampler. This is a very simple one. That is a cute house. No time is wasted spent making a friend. That's cute. You got some little lovebirds down here too. That's really nice. And some birds in the trees. I believe this is the last one from the Needle Love Company. It's called Shaker Town. And it says, May peace bless our home. So yeah, very boxy little village here. Kind of reminds me of Prairie Schooler. I think whoever owned this collection was really into this kind of like minimalist aesthetic because a lot of the Prairie Schoolers are similar to this. Okay, here is the Southern Blueberry Sampler. The company is Cross Patch Incorporated. Um, the shop, whoever sold this, they stamped right on top of the design. I was just like, why would you do that? Because then you can't really see it. But yeah, for anyone who like is into blueberries, this is a really cool one. This would be great for summer. Yeah, I'm always curious about the year these are from. This one says 1986 on the inside. Okay, there's a couple from this company called Stancil Stitches. This is Antique Samplers 2. So I don't think these are reproductions. I think these are just like kind of motifs inspired by antiques. That's a really cute bird though. Oh, pattern on the back. Well, these actually look computer generated. Well, the pattern is quite very clear. It's actually nice. Yeah. Here's another one from Stancil Stitches, Antique Sampler 3. So same series. And a very similar idea to the other one, just various little motifs put into a small sampler. Those blue deer are really cute over here. Here is the Live Today sampler by Canterbury Designs. So this is the same design. It's just they showed it on different fabrics. Yeah, I think that's what's happening here. Cherish yesterday, dream tomorrow, live today. So a nice little band sampler. I like it on the brown. Looks like there's a little bit of specialty stitch in here too. Yeah, I think Canterbury Designs might be one you can still get. I don't know. I looked up some of these. I just really didn't have time to look up all of them. Here's a keepsake samplers, a Leisure Arts leaflet number 280. So there's a wide variety in here. More sort of like band sampler style. And then there's these cute little angels. And then it shows these really adorable seasonal ones on the back. Spring, winter, summer. And then up here you have fall with the squirrels. So those would be really fun to do as a series. Oh, sorry, I banged the phone. This is Janlin Classic Cross Stitch Leaflet 97802, the Medallions Sampler. This is another one on black. Looks like this was designed in 87. These flowers are very pretty on the black. And you get so many different kinds too. I really love these bellflowers up here. Whatever they are. Yeah, I think generally. Oh no, these are hand drawn. I was gonna say usually I think Jan Lin would be computer generated, but these are hand drawn. Here is The Sun Shines with Love on a Happy Home. This is another homespun elegance. So there were quite a few of these in this collection. Homespun elegance samplers. This one is very, very cute. It's got a bunch of little animals. Yeah, I really like this one. I like those trees because it's kind of weird. They just have random like leaves. That's a nice one. Here is another from Homespun Elegance. It's called Family Keepsake. So it's just the one. I think they're just showing different pieces of it separated out. And they're saying that this is like a family birth or wedding sampler. I mean, you could pretty much, use this for anything though. It's just animals and trees. Really nice. I do love those little sheep. And there's squirrels too. That is really cute. Okay, the sweetheart tree. This pattern is called Do All Things with Love. Band sampler with some flowers. And once again, they're just showing you little bits of it. Oh no, actually, this looks different. This is the same as up here, but I think this is different. So a little small. And yeah, that's what the pattern kind of looks like. Looks hand drawn. This one is Samplers for All Seasons by Blue Whale Designs. Oh yeah, this one. So they all look very similar, but the design at the top represents the different seasons. So that's kind of neat. I've never heard of this company, Blue Whale Designs. And I don't see a year on here, but it definitely looks 80s. Pat Rogers Count a Collection Hearts and Flowers Sampler. So this picture is not very good, but I think this would look much better than it's like represented here. Actually stitched. Those letters are very beautiful with the little sort of like squiggly font. And the colors, yeah, very, very spring pastel. And they show some other ones on the back. Not included here, but other ones by this company. Look at that one. That one's really nice. Yeah, I'm not familiar with this Pat Rogers designer. All right, so that was those. There's a few more samplers in here. Old samplers, Ledger Arts leaflet 954. These, I don't think these are reproductions. I think these are original designs, but you know, they have motifs taken from antique samplers. There's a lion on this one. I like that lion. And then down here, you've got a blue one with birds. And I like these horses over here. They are super cute. So, yeah, it looks like you get a lot with this. Oh, these are in color. That's nice. And then on the back, I think they're just showing you They're showing you them again, but on different fabrics, I think. Yeah, the blue really stands out nice on this fabric. Okay, this is from the same series, Old Samplers, Ledger Arts. This one's Leaflet 2007. And yeah, this is another one. Yeah, definitely reminds me of Prairie Schooler. So similar style and vibe. I love this ship over here. That is so fun. And then down here, you get like a log cabin. This one's really cute. I kind of grew up in a house like that. I should stitch this for my parents. And then on the back, I believe this is the same stuff. They might have switched the fabrics again. Okay, the Cornell collection, Heirloom Treasures. Yeah, I don't know anything about the Cornell collection, if it's affiliated with the university or what. um, but these are cute. Yeah, that tree is really nice. Oh, and then here's some birds. This one's really hard to see. It's so small. Hands to work, hearts to God. But these are pretty basic samplers. Hand-drawn symbols. I like this one because I don't usually see cross stitch that is centered around cranberries, but here's one. Cinnamon Heart Needleworks. It's called the Cranberry Village Sampler. This one reminds me a lot of those I want to say Told in a Garden patterns that are like Strawberry Farm and stuff like that. This looks pretty similar to that. But it's cranberries. Isn't that fun? So yeah, I got the blueberry sampler in this collection, and I got the cranberry sampler. They were different companies. All right, this is an American School of Needlework booklet, cross-stitch samplers on perforated plastic. There was actually a lot of plastic canvas in this collection. I'm not going to show them. I don't think people have much interest in plastic canvas, but this one was definitely more in the sampler category. Yeah, these are nice because they're very similar to those. I see that these at antique malls, the Victorian ones that people would stitch on perforated paper. That's the style here. So I do really like these. All right, and here's some more on the back. Oh, wow. Yeah, look at this one. How colorful that is. That's beautiful. A is for apple. That's a fun one. And there's an alphabet and a welcome sign. So yeah, you do get quite a bit of stuff in this booklet. All right, we're getting towards the end of the samplers, and these ones are more modern, I would say. Cross stitching for quilt lovers. So a very pretty geometric design. It does not look like there's a lot of backstitching here, which is nice. So this is another American School of Needlework booklet. And then on the back, they show you some more blocks. So, yeah. Yeah, I like that log cabin too. This is the Herb Samplers by Leisure Arts, leaflet 2561. The designer is Linda Culp Calhoun. I have not heard of that designer. Uh, these look like they have some inspirational quotes on them, and then down here it has the herbs. I mean, you could do the herbs by themselves. And then I'm not sure, this looks like it's probably specialty stitch. But very pretty muted color palette. And then on the back, it has 4 different band samplers that all have a different herb. So you've got rosemary, parsley, and then down here you have thyme and sage. Here is the motif sampler, which is basically exactly what the title is. It's just a bunch of little motifs. There is a peacock. And this one says 1988, so yeah, the range of years here was not very broad. This collection appeared to be mostly mid late 80s and then very, very early 90s. Okay, here's the Herb Garden by Leisure Arts, leaflet 988. So, yeah, this one's a little bit more of a modern design, not a reproduction. And all those different. See, I like how they showed you could do them on perforated plastic and make them into like little signs. That's a really cute idea. But you get all these different herbs. Okay, yeah, this one's copyright 1990. Uh, and then this is the last one that was in that stack of samplers. And this is more of a modern design. It's by Polly Carbonari. I have come across this designer a lot, especially in magazines. I think she was very prolific. And yeah, this is really cute. It's called Special Samplers to Cross Stitch, and it's another American School of Needlework. So look at how colorful that one is. With all the sheep and bunnies. There's an angel and a cow and a deer. That one's really fun. And it's the 4 seasons. This one represents quilts. And then we got one with trains. And then on the back, butter prints. Oh, that's kind of fun. Those shortbread cookie molds. I like that. Hex signs. We have a ton of those down in Pennsylvania. Another apple theme pattern. Super cute. And yeah. And then, yeah, blue sampler. So you get a lot in this booklet. Really nice. Okay, now why don't I do the stack of like cricket collection that was in there and Prairie Schooler? So yeah, there was, I think, one of the file folders in that box. It was all cricket collection and Prairie Schoolers. So there's probably like 15 or so here. I can go through them pretty fast. This one is called Christmas Primitives. And it's got Santa, these bunnies, Angel, and then a small. So the Santa is really cute. He's got a sled and everything. It looks like this is 1987. Okay, this one I really like. Cricket Collection. It is called Mrs. K. Nicholas Claus. That's funny. But here she is. She is adorable. With her birdhouse, birds. I love it. Over here, I will tell you, Cricket Collection makes some really, really cute sheep. Actually, I think there's going to be some more in the stack, but here's one of them. I love all their sheep. And I think that is all that you get in this leaflet, because I just put another picture of it down here. But okay, that was Mrs. K. Nicholas Claus. Here's another one with some really cute sheep. Peaceful Places. So you've got the shepherd there. And a stack of sheep sleeping. And then the big sheep. Over here, you get a little banner with some sheep. And the little houses. So yeah, this shepherd is really cool. That the patterning in whatever this garment is, it's very, very nice. Cricket Collection candle screens number 1. You can see down there. So you get a goose wearing a wreath. There's a little church, small there. It looks like those are pumpkins. That's a church with pumpkins. Huh. Thanksgiving. Okay. Here is Halloween. Goblins, black cats, happy witches, Halloween, bats, owls, ghosts. And then there's witch hats down on the bottom. Black cats and jack-o'-lanterns. I really like that one. And then over here, this is just like a welcome sign with a little house. So this is sort of a combination of Christmas and fall. Okay, Cricket Collection. Angels Unaware. Be not forgetful to entertain strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels unaware. Okay. And yeah, it's the same thing over here, I think. And then you also get this one with the house and the angels and the pine trees. All right, and this one, I think I'm actually going to stitch the sheep. I love it. Okay, this is these titles are cracking me up. K. Nicholas Claus, comma Saint. Okay. Okay, so you get Santa. That's really cute. But yeah, my favorite is definitely the sheep. I want to do that sheep. Basically, it's wearing a garland of popcorn. And I think I would do it on the brown fabric because then that popcorn is going to show up way better. But yeah, I might actually get that started in the next few weeks here because December is coming up. Cricket Collection, The Lion and the Lamb. So this is some pretty dense stitching here. It is very cute. Right, this one's called the Cricket's Companion Spring. And it is a lady gardening. And over here you get a tree with some, looks like robins, because they are carrying worms in their beak. So I believe that would be robins. And then up there is just a really cute one for spring. So this is Cricket Collection number 45. Well, Cricket's Companion. I don't really know all the difference between, because I know there's Cross-eyed Cricket, there's Cricket's Companion, Cricket Collection. I mean, they're all the same company, but I guess they're just different lines. Okay, this one's called the Ribbon Alphabet. So they just show you a bunch of different ways to use this alphabet if you use different floss. Um, but yes, kind of like a gothic style lettering. Looks like there's an anchor in the middle there. Oh, there's a lion. Huh. And a fleur-de-lis. I don't really know what's going on with this. But the year on there is 1989. This one is I think this is folk art sampling. I was gonna say I thought it was Christmas ornaments, but it's not really. It's just kind of random motifs. So yeah, very basic. Bunch of smalls. This one might be the last one for Cricket Collection. This is called the Cross Stitch Folk Angel. And she is stitching. She's stitching and it says, please, just one more X. And it's kind of cute. There's a little spider coming down. Cat. Alright, then I'll show the Prairie Schoolers. Sorry, I shook the phone again. This one is the band samplers. So looks like a lot of fall. Plant your seeds in a row, one to eat and one to grow. That's over here. Content lodges oftener in cottages than palaces. I love that squirrel. I love that house. This one I might be tempted to do someday. This one is from Little Acorns. Oh, tall oaks from little acorns grow. So that's a really nice one with that tree and all the squirrels. So I really like that one. I'm glad that was in the collection. I think I would stitch something from that. This one's a Johnny Appleseed. So it kind of tells a story of Johnny Appleseed. There's a lot of animals. There's even a pig. And then down here you have the man himself. Yeah, that's a nice one. This Prairie Schooler is the Prairie Lodge. It looks like, I was gonna say they stitched it on perforated paper, but no, I think this is actually just fabric. But these will look good on perforated paper too. Uh, a really nice collection of ornaments here. Oh, there's a beaver. I love him. And then there's a cute woodpecker over there. Yeah, these will look really nice on my tree. Here's another one with a bunch of ornaments. It's called a Prairie Christmas. And once again, you get a lot of cute animals. There's a cat, a swan, camel, horse. Would that be a partridge in a pear tree? Maybe. There's a squirrel and a rabbit. So these are super cute. Okay, here's one with the Santas. This one's called St. Nicholas, number 20. I love the colors in this. I actually found a finished Prairie Schooler Santa the other day. I'll probably show it in my next video. It wasn't one of these, but it was very similar. So lots of different options here. Here are the three bears. I do really like this one. It's so fun with the little beds. And there's Goldilocks. And here is a Prairie Year, number 13. So yeah, all these are very early, I would say. These are older ones. But here we have more ornaments. And this isn't Christmas, this is all the seasons. Because it's like you got March for the shamrocks, and 4th of July has patriotic, so I like the way they displayed it in this box. It's really nice. All right, I think this is the last of the Prairie Schoolers. Well, actually, there's one more. Here's Nursery Rhymes, number 27. And that one with a farm and the cows. I love that. Little Boy Blue. Yeah, I don't know. I would maybe just leave that part off or something. I just like the picture of it. And then down here is Mary Mary Quite Contrary. So she's in a garden with beautiful peacocks. So that's fun. And then the last one is just designer series, pastel borders. This is also by the Prairie Schooler. So it's just, if you want a motif to do a repeating border, here's some with pineapples and flower basket and stuff. So kind of cool. All right, that's not the end of this collection. There was also some Christmas things, and then there were some miscellaneous. So why don't I go through them? I know this is starting to get a little bit long, but while I'm here, I may as well just do it. Um, Leisure Arts, Santa and Company by Lynn Busa. Her name is down there. Really cute Santas. Look at this stand-up Santa. That's really fun. And then pillow. On the back is some snowmen. All right, I gotta move some things around here. Okay. Snowmen. And then some ornaments. And celebrate the spirit of giving. Yeah, that's a fun book. Color charts inside. I think Leisure Arts is usually color charts. Okay, Leisure Arts 29.25. Holiday Happies. So you got a variety of like angels, snowmen, and of course the big showstopper is this house, which is beautiful. That Victorian house. I love that. It is a lot of backstitching. On the back, there's a snowman. They show you some jar lids and some kitchen towels designs. Here is a Mary Englebright Believe with the Santa. I have seen this before. I think this is a pretty popular design. I have a couple other Mary Englebrights that I would do first before this, so I don't know if I would get to it, but nice to have it. Here is a cinnamon stick Christmas. Santas of other colors. This is another homespun elegance. So it's showing you different Santas um, as ornaments. And the jackets, like these two guys appear to be the same. They just stitched the jacket a different color. Yeah, same with over here. And then this little box is really nice. Victorian Ornaments by Patricia Nazers. This is Leisure Arts 901. I love these pastel ornaments. Yeah, these have more of a modern vibe to me. They're very pretty. And then on the back, they show them, I think these are the same ones. I think it's on the front, they show you them done on fabric, and on the back, they show them done on perforated plastic. I really like this one. Leisure Arts 886 Be Jolly. The designer is Diane Brakefield. Yeah, look at this Santa. You know, for people who like the gnome phenomenon these days, I feel like you would really like this pattern too, because he looks like a little gnome. I kind of love it. And then they show it down here as a stand-up, which is fun. And then there's this like band you can do with the tiny Santas. So that's a cute one. Here is one of those major presentations Santa Claus series. This is a third one. I feel like I have another one of these elsewhere in my stash. So this is representing like a German Santa, I guess. And I think I have one in my stash that's like Russian or something. So this was a whole series. This appears to be an older design. Yeah, it's 1985. Hand drawn symbols. Yeah, I've definitely seen this design before, The Christmas Gentleman by Leisure Arts, leaflet 743. The designer is Marilyn Ganore. And yeah, this is really cute. I stitched one kind of similar to this, The Santas of Fable and Fantasy. So I don't know if I would take this one on. I do like this one with the really long beard. So maybe someday. This top part would also just make a really nice banner by itself. Merry Christmas banner. Sinterklaas. The company here is the Country Goose Collection, which I've never heard of. Designer is Cindy Wilcox. And yeah, it looks like you get this Santa with the green coat and ornament. Well, I think they just separated out the horse. Yeah, so this is another one that's like a pretty old design, it looks like. I like how they showed it stitched on a sweater. These are the old Santas collection 4. The company is called So Fine Presents. And we got a blue coat Santa and then a more traditional one up here. I do really like his outfit. It's got all these like stars on it. That's fun. There's a blue one. And yeah, it doesn't look like you get the 2 in this one, and then I'm sure there's others in that series. I don't think I have any of the other ones. This is Homespun Elegance. We wish you a Merry Christmas. So just what it sounds like. It's a bunch of bears. So that banner with the repeating bears. I would never stitch that. That just looks so boring. Stitch them all like one after another. Then these ones up here are cute. There's a teddy bear on a sleigh. And then one with the tree up here. I like that a lot. And this one is a bear like hiding in the stocking. I like that. All right, there was a couple Needle Love companies that were Christmas. Hollyberry Noel. So pretty self-explanatory. More little Santas. Uh, Here's the other one, Needle Love Company Heart Star Christmas. So yeah, these ones to me seem very similar to the Prairie Schooler type of vibe. That's a really cute snowman. Teddy's Christmas Closet. Various smalls with teddy bears. Yes, I have yet to stitch a teddy bear. I know it's just a matter of time. I do have a few I would like to do. And then here's another collection by Polycarbonari. This is called Winter Warmers. And they showed it all on sweaters, but of course, you could easily just stitch these on fabric, regular fabric, and not use like waste canvas. But yeah, that little woodland one with the cabin. I really like that. And there's a moose. Nice. And then there's one with a sleigh. One with the white stitching. That looks like deers and bears and deer on that red sweater. And then here's another one with some deer. So that's a Leisure Arts leaflet 2060. Oh, and there's even more on the back. There's these skiers. There's some mittens. More deer. A moose. Yeah. Wow, you get a lot in here. And they're full color. Yeah, that's a nice little booklet. That was the end of the Christmas section, and then I have a few like miscellaneous. All right, I'm on a roll. I'm just gonna keep going. I know this is an hour. This is Sandy Orton, A Year in Cross Stitch. So this is very similar to that other Prairie Schooler one I showed you that was like seasonal ornaments, but this one is by Sandy Orton. Um, I've seen Katie from Red Stitchery. She's stitched several things by Sandy Orton, and they always look really nice. Um, so yeah, I might be interested in doing some of these someday. That cow is adorable. Look at that cat. That's a cat on a picnic, it looks like. So that's a nice little booklet. Leisure Arts 681, Under the Sun. The designer is Barbara Bourgeot Richards. This is from 1987. So I am not familiar with that designer, but this is a very sweet little country style stitch with the geese and the family. Yep, full color chart. Meadow Flowers by Karen Avery. This is a Dimensions leaflet. And look at these colors of those flowers. It's just beautiful. Bookmark Jubilee. I feel like bookmarks are kind of having a moment right now. They're coming back. So this is Leisure Arts 2238. And you get a lot of different bookmarks. I like this one. Read the long ones. So yeah, you get a lot of different stuff. Here's another polycarbonari shown on sweaters. This one appears to have like a environmentalist theme. It says save the green. It says protect and preserve the balance, the elements in balance, and keep it green. So these are all like very environmentalist oriented. Cinnamon Heart Needleworks. This one is called the Nantucket Breeze. So if you like a little prim style village, this one's very sweet. And then there's a couple of floral ones. Nancy Rossi, Country Sampler, Book 2 by Dimensions. East or West, Home is Best. So this is a nice spring one with all those pinks. Very pretty. The Me You collection. Never heard of that. This is called Another Gaggle, and it is a bunch of geese. Geese with a wreath, goose picking up a leaf, and then a little sampler there. 1986. Placemats number 7. This company is Artistic Needle. So this is just a nice collection of flowers that you can separate out and just make into whatever. And they've got snowdrops and irises and tulips and daffodils. So this is a nice little floral collection. I love this one. This is called the Even Weave Fabric Stabber by Gloria and Pat. Um, so it's a stitching bird. It's all outlined in backstitch, which would be kind of annoying, but this is really funny. And down here, the Even Weave Fabric Stabber, Latin name, avid needleworker. I don't know. I don't know how they come up with some of this stuff. And then on the back there's a bunch of other ones with the birds. I think the cover one is my favorite, but you get all these in the little booklet, and it's just depicting the Even Weave Fabric Stabber in different like parts of her house and stuff. All right. So that was just a cute one. Uh yeah, the symbols are like, I think they're hand drawn. They're not impossible to read though. Country Cousins, Gingerbread Folk Art. Um oh, yeah, the reason I like this is because of that pig. Although that chicken is also very cute. But my favorite is this pig. I have this other booklet with a bunch of pigs from the 80s that I want to start one of those. Um, but maybe after that I would do this one. I don't know. But yeah, this is kind of a random assortment. And on the back, I think it's all the same stuff. Here is the Williamsburg Garden Dance. So this one is huge. This is a Raindrop company design. And yeah, this would just be massive. I think the strategy would be to stitch it on green fabric so you don't have to stitch all that grass. But this is quite large. And yeah, these are definitely hand drawn. Not the easiest thing in the world to read. Chair of Bullies. This is another Mary Englebright. So you just get a variety of her little smaller designs. Yeah, as I said, I mean, there's a couple of Christmas Mary Inglebrights I really, really like. I'm not as into these kind of little cutesy ones. If I'm gonna stitch a Mary Inglebright, it's either gonna be a reindeer or a mouse. I have both of them for Christmas. This is Bewitchin' Stitchin', leaflet 635. Yeah, in this collection, there really wasn't that much Halloween, but there was this. This one with a skeleton is kind of funny. There's a frog. Okay, now this last stack here, this was not a part of the Goodwill collection I found. These are ones I found elsewhere. So some of them might be a little bit newer. Um, this is plastic canvas birds, but the charts are cross stitch. So you don't have to do it on plastic canvas. You could do whatever. Um, and I just thought these birds were very cool looking, kind of modern looking with the color blocking. There's another robin. So the company here is Our Creations Presents, which I am not familiar with. Here is a Stony Creek. This isn't usually my style, but I love this one with the patchwork angel here. Um I think if I were going to do it, I would take off the bless our home part. I would want to do the angel and the village. And I'm seriously considering doing that. Like I said, this is not usually the type of thing I'm interested in, but for some reason I really like this one. So we'll see. Yeah, this one I found when I stopped at a couple thrift stores on my way to Stitch North um last month, and I found this one for, 50 cents or whatever. And I really like that angel. And then you have some other sort of like patchwork style designs. So yeah, Simple Pleasures by Stony Creek. On the back, there's some cutesy ones. This little neighborhood is very pretty and colorful. I like that. And then you got the bear with the beehive. Okay, found Stony Creek Floral Garden at that same thrift shop. Yeah, these are really big. That sunflower, I suspect, would be stunning on the dark fabric. I love it. It looks like you got some lilies over here. And then back here, you've got an iris. I think. I think this is an iris. Um, welcome sign with a bunch of flowers. This one looks like a hibiscus. So yeah, you get a lot in here. Here's another one with flowers, still lifes, by Country Threads. More sunflowers. I like that other sunflower better. Then you get daisies, and I'm not really sure what this is actually. Oh, this is a Jeanette Cruz Designs. Okay. So, yeah, those are giant. I mean, that would be a massive, massive project. Songbirds. So the company name, oh, Janet Powers. And you get a lot of really pretty birds here. Look at that bird. The little, I think that's a wren maybe. That is adorable. I love these birds. And then I guess that's a waxwing. Goldfinch. Yeah, I think my preference would probably be to stitch this wren. It's really cute. Here's a Barbara and Cheryl. Usually they do, like landscape type things, but they adapted this artwork by Ray Davenport. There's actually information about him in this, and this was like I don't know if it was a watercolor or something. It was a painting that Barbara and Cheryl adapted into cross stitch. So it's a bear with a bunch of toys. As you can see, mine got pretty damaged, but the inside's fine. But yeah, it's interesting just all the shadowing in this design. So yeah, that was called Going for a Ride by Barbara and Cheryl. The Tiny Teddies. Yeah, this is fun. Basically a teddy for every occasion. They're pretty small. There is a lot of backstitching. The designer is Linda Gillum. This is an American School of Needlework booklet. And then there's more teddies on the back. Uh, Frogs. This is called One Froggy Christmas Eve by Peggy Wellman. And it's exactly what it says. It's a bunch of frogs. They are seriously cute, though. That's a fun one. This was from 1980. This is an old one. Hand drawn. Then we got the One Nighters cats. I actually have a lot of One Nighters. I'm gonna have to go put this with them. But yeah, it's a bunch of cats. They have One Nighters for all kinds of things, like all different kinds of animals, cars, airplanes, dinosaurs. And yeah, I guess they were produced by Jeanette Cruz Designs. So yeah, lots of cute kitties. These are fun. Vinyl Weave Baby Toys. American School of Needlework. So I guess the idea was these were originally stitched on that vinyl canvas. I've seen some of that stuff at thrift stores. So it's not the same as plastic canvas because it's kind of like more flexible, I want to say. But obviously you could just do this on regular fabric or whatever. But they're kind of funny. Oh yeah, the fun thing also is that the backs are also designed, so you can just turn them into like this 3D stuffed animal. Uh, it's really fun. Here's puppies, M and W. I don't know anything about that company. I don't think I've ever heard of them, but this has a lot of different dogs. Basset Hound, various breeds. So a lot of smalls. Yeah. So this one seems pretty old. 1982. This is the Pandorable. So all panda themed. You got a panda alphabet. You've got a panda and a hot air balloon. You got panda on a bicycle. You've got tiny pandas embedded in this Merry Christmas banner. Up here is like a panda holding balloons. I don't know. This is so random. The company appears to be called Oak Tree. This is from 1982. And on the back, you get a couple of other panda things. There's a panda in a crescent moon. And you got some more like alphabet stuff. Panda with a rainbow. And then this is the last leaflet I pulled out. Three's Company. I found this on the way to Stitch North as well. Leisure Arts, 470. I just like the sheep in this. Um, they're kind of goofy. I really like that sheep. And then you got more up here. And more sheep. All right, I'll go through these kits since I have them. Here's Debbie Mum. Noah, welcome. So this is a 1998 Dimensions kit. And it's a small one. Here is a Janlin. It's soccer. Um so self-explanatory. This is something special. It's a Christmas one with these little scenes. I do really like this one. Just make them into a bunch of little ornaments. And that's what it's called. Yeah, speaking of bears, here is a very elaborate bear banner. This is a Janlin kit. It's called Bear's Bell Pull. I believe, yeah, the designer again is Donna Vermillion Jampa, so it's really nice and colorful. This is Dimensions Very Merry Christmas. So these are ornaments. They provide you with a plastic canvas, but again, you can stitch them on whatever background you want. These are cute. Yeah, so plastic canvas and the thread. This one is Kenna Cross Stitch Quilts Sampler by Jan Lynn. Uh, I've actually seen this one finished because I saw it at a thrift store. I didn't buy it, but I have seen it. Yeah, it is really pretty. And honestly, it doesn't look like there's a lot of back stitching. There's some up here, but not really down here. Designs for the needle. This is from the Leslie Ann Ivory's Ivory Cats. And then up here is the number of the kit is 5603. And yeah, it's just a cat with a rug in the background. Very expressive face. And black and white chart. Lots of thread. These I found together. Bewitched. So Halloween, it says they come with glow in the dark thread. Yeah, the company, what company is this? I don't know. Oh, it's designs for the needle. Okay, yeah. So it comes with that like little clothespin to make the body. So this one didn't have any thread in it actually. It had the Ada, but they must have just stitched it on a different fabric. So this is a sunset kit. It's called Ribbons and Bows Birdcage. So the pattern was in there. If I wanted to do it, I would have to kit the floss myself. It is a very delicate, beautiful birdcage. And then I'm down to the last two here. This is the Little Pond Birth Record by Dimensions. And of course, it doesn't have to be a birth record. You could just, if you like the animals, you could just stitch it. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I love those turtles. And then this one is the Hummingbird by Barbara Mock. It's a Dimensions leaflet, actually. I found it as a kit. I actually found it a long time ago, but I don't know, maybe a month or so ago, I found this finished. And I'll show it in one of my future videos. Because I want to say it was like $4 or $5. It was in a frame. It was really pretty. So I bought it. I'm just like, well, now I don't have to stitch it because I already have it finished. Eventually, I will just be destashing this. But yeah, the finished product of this is very, very pretty. And I will show it in one of my future videos. Oh my gosh, that was an hour and a half of stash. um, Thank you if you took the time to watch this flip through. I hope you found something to inspire you. I will hopefully be back for my next floss tube sometime after the Thanksgiving holiday. And until then, I'll just say happy stitching. Bye.